Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm going to be honest, I have been kind of in the trenches since South by Southwest. Last week was just so intense, and I really just needed like a couple of days to decompress and be relatively offline. But I still have 4 stories for you guys today because we over-deliver here at Centennial World. Okay, the first story that I have for you guys is I wanted to talk about a new TikTok trend that I feel like is super new, really relevant for you guys to jump on, whether you're an aspiring creator, a user that just likes to post on TikTok, or a brand. So it's called like the subtle foreshadowing trend. It's been around for like maybe a week and a half at most. It involves showing a fail, a mishap, or a blooper and splicing the ending throughout the video. So many creators and celebrities have joined in, like Olivia Rodrigo, who edited her fall during a Melbourne show last week using the subtle foreshadowing format. Callum Booth writes for Forbes, quote, "As most memes or TikTok trends, though, the subtle foreshadowing fad is more than a cheap laugh. It's a way of reinterpreting media and is a reflection of how the internet has shaped a new generation. These videos are a reflection of how younger people view the world, one that is layered in irony and doesn't have a traditional narrative." So I think there is scope for brands to jump in on this trend, especially those creating employee-generated content for TikTok. I think tapping into this trend would be easy if you're editing like bloopers from TikTok videos, or like me, I could edit one of me messing up on the podcast, which I do every 5 seconds. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of scope there for brands to kind of be self-aware. Like that's one of the biggest pieces of advice that I give our clients when they're trying to figure out their TikTok strategy is I'm like, authenticity really at the end of the day, it doesn't mean relatability in the way that I think we often use those words interchangeably. You can still have an aspirational brand, an aspirational personal brand. It doesn't necessarily need to be relatable, but as long as it is like self-aware, which I think is kind of a weird word to use for like a brand, but you know what I mean, then it will hit. So this is a good TikTok trend I feel like brands can jump on to show that they are self-aware and it's funny and it's harmless. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is Aspyn Ovard and Tarte seem to be collaborating again. So obviously we've been covering Aspyn Ovard extensively since she started opening up more and sharing more content about her divorce, and now Tarte seems to be jumping on her momentum by collaborating with her. So Aspyn and Tarte previously collaborated in 2018. They released the Aspyn Ovard Cheek and Eye Palette. Rumors started circulating about another collab when Aspyn posted a Get Ready With Me TikTok for the Eras Tour as she was attending with the brand. In the video, she called herself a, quote, OG fan of Tarte and spoke about the palette and added text reading, quote, subtle foreshadowing over the video. Then a commenter wrote, foreshadowing a new Aspyn X Tarte palette, and then the Tarte founder / CEO Maureen Kelly made a video with Aspyn showcasing the palette. Aspyn has since shared her own video holding up this palette. So there's still not a ton of information about this palette. It's unclear if this is a re-release of her original palette or if it's a brand new palette. I personally believe it's a re-release from everything we've seen. The packaging is different, but I think it will be like the same palette. Because if you zoom in, it does seem to also be called the Cheek and Eye palette. And then the last little Aspyn like kind of tidbit update that I wanted to share is there is this new rumor circulating. So we all know that Aspyn's been talking about her mother-in-law, and that's been like a big part of this like divorce narrative. And it has seemed like her mother-in-law has something to do with her divorce, like the reason why she wanted to divorce Parker. And we know there's like this 10-year lie that everyone knew except for her. And it seems like her mother-in-law knew or was involved somehow. And she has mentioned her mother-in-law several different times in several different videos throughout this process. Okay. The new theory is that there is this one like very active person in her Snark Reddit who apparently for years has been leaking very personal information about Aspyn. And the new theory on TikTok amongst her fans is that Aspyn found out that that person is her mother-in-law. I don't think there's any validity to those claims. I think it is just a fan theory, but I did want to share it because it is kind of going viral everywhere. And I also wanted to let you guys know, if you hear that this is just a rumor. But yeah, if that was the case, that would be pretty wild. But I also don't think we will ever know that. I don't think we will ever find that out. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is that Rosanna Pansino seemingly found mold when she tested out Mr. Beast and Logan Paul and KSI's new brand, Lunchly. In a recent video for her YouTube channel, Rosanna Pansino reviewed Lunchly, which is the joint project between KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast. Lunchly is intended to be a lunch snack for kids. For context, Rosanna participated in one of Mr. Beast's Creator Games competition shows, and ever since then, she has been speaking out against the creator. She first shared content exposing Mr. Beast's Creator Games competition, saying that Mr. Beast edited her out of the video early, revealing that she had actually finished in third place. She was also one of the first people to share stories from Beast Game contestants, from Jimmy, who is Mr. Beast's real name, that's his real name, his Amazon show. So basically, contestants started reaching out to her with how they were being mistreated because she had spoken up against Mr. Beast in the past. So it's clear that Rosanna definitely is not a big fan of Mr. Beast. But with that being said, when she reviewed Lunchly for her channel, she opened the snack kit and she did seemingly find mold all over the cheese.
These are molded. Okay, so these ones are supposed to be good until December, and we just got them from the store. It says used by December 8th, 2024, and today's date is October 16th. So these are supposed to be good for like another 2 months. This is molded. That's mold.
Rosanna went on to speculate why it may have got moldy so quickly. She said she thinks it's the result of the packaging. I don't know if this is an issue with the recipe development or the packaging. I think it's a packaging issue. The sealant here feels really cheap, like whatever is holding this on the top is not vacuum tight. She was talking about the lid, basically. It's not a lid, it's like foil. That kind of covers the Lunchly. Unfortunately, Rosanna isn't the first one to find mold in her Lunchly, apparently. A TikTok video unboxing a moldy Lunchly has racked up over 8 million views, with the user at AU38A captioning it, "I like my cheese moldy, bruh," which is now a trending phrase on the app. This is a huge mishap if this is all true. And I do believe it. I don't think that Rosanna's, a liar. And I don't think that people who are finding mold are liars. I think we learned our lesson from Jaclyn Hill with her lipsticks. When people say something's contaminated from an influencer, usually it is. But this is a huge, huge issue. And these are 3 giant creators. And I really am so interested to see if any of them, especially Mr. Beast, address this. Okay, the last story that I have for you guys is I need to quickly cover what happened at the LA Sweat Tour with Brittany Broski and the Apple Dance. There's not much to say about this story other than it's basically just gone insanely viral. So Charli XCX and Troye Sivan's LA Sweat Tour shows have been very eventful, to say the least. For those not on that side of TikTok, during Charli's song Apple, the camera pans to the crowd to show fans doing the iconic TikTok Apple dance. At the second LA show, Brittany Broski's group was picked and the clip blew up because she was shoved out of frame by a man who basically just stared down the camera. Reactions have been mixed. Many are upset that she was pushed, calling it rude and saying that's just not concert etiquette. Others, especially those who aren't fans of Brittany, found it funny. While Brittany can be a polarizing figure online for sure, the situation has left many people discussing how concert etiquette has changed over the years, especially in light of last year when videos went viral of people throwing things on stage and hurting celebrities. I don't know if you guys remember that, but people were chucking shit on stage and it was for TikTok. It was a viral moment. People are comparing this situation with Brittany to another Charli XCX concert with the Apple Dance, where the dance's creator, Kelly, the camera was on her because she created the dance, and then another concert goer kind of took the spotlight, pushed her out of the way or came in. I forget. No. She didn't push her out of the way. She came in and did it with her, I think it was. She just clearly didn't realize who Kelly was. But beyond the Brittany Broski debacle, the LA Sweat Tour shows have gone viral thanks to an appearance by Vinnie Hacker. We have not talked about Vinnie Hacker in 4 years on this podcast. So during Troye Sivan's performance of One of Your Girls, he brought Vinny on stage to serenade and dance on him. So Kesha and Tate McRae were the special guests for the show before. Some people were kind of like upset that Vinny was the one who was like the special guest. And Vinny actually tweeted saying, "Sorry you guys didn't get a better guest, but I tried my hardest. Regardless, it was fun and the crowd was amazing." And on the Brittany Broski Apple dance situation, I saw a TikTok that I completely agree with. Someone was like, regardless of all of the cultural significance that we, all the discourse that we're having around this clip and what we think it means for concert etiquette and just bigger cultural conversations, at the end of the day, it is just so clear that this man was on copious amounts of drugs and did not realize what was happening or what he was doing. And if you watch the video, you'll probably agree with that. But yeah, guys, that is it for the stories for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you guys. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Please star us on Spotify. We are on our way to 500 reviews on Spotify. It's very important to us, to me, to me. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be a little bit less chaotic. I feel like today was unwell. I need one more night of good sleep. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. I love you. Bye.